Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is October 14th, 2020, and this is episode 106. I hope that opening wasn't too jarring for you, but we are going to look at Rorschach today. This is a DC Black Label. Tom King is the author. Jorge Forney is the artist on this. This is issue 1. It was a $4.99 book, and unlike the Alan Moore story, in which Rorschach is bumped off towards the end of the movie, Rorschach in this story is gunned down at the beginning of the story. Okay, it takes a bullet from behind. One of the things I want to mention in this is I really don't like the way Rorschach has been treated all through the years. I think the movie was great. After that, it was kind of a downhill slope. We had before Watchman, where we had a story about Rorschach, which I believe was pretty watered down. It was not real, I don't know. It didn't feel like Rorschach, that to me, not at all. Obviously, it wasn't the same author, and obviously they didn't take the same steps that Alan Moore did when he created it. Moving on, we had Doomsday Clock, and that was a race swap for Rorschach on there, where he became a black man, a young black man. And again, the personality is not there. They made it as their own. Jeff Johns was the writer on that one. And unfortunately, I think it missed the mark altogether. I did not like Doomsday Clock at all. I've already sold my copy back to the store for store credit. And then we moved on to HBO Watchmen, in which Rorschach doesn't appear in it. However, I would say the right-wing extremists in it are kind of like a Rorschach-type gang. They all wear the Rorschach mask and then do kind of Watchmenish type things. But again, it's not Rorschach. It's totally going against, I think, a lot of the values that he has in the movie. He's a very faulted a character with a lot of faults. But he's got values still. He doesn't give up on that. And all these stories that came up after that just seem like you kind of missed the mark. And gee, I know, like Rorschach is such a popular character. You think DC would really do their best to handle that character with gloves instead of just doing these weird spin-offs that have nothing to do with the character. And this book is no different as far as I can tell from the beginning. It is only one issue in. Rorschach is, is involved with a mystery here. And actually it starts the beginning is actually, I believe, what is the end of the story. And the author, Tom King, does not hide any of his political leanings here. He's showing this political convention here. Supposedly there's a President Redford in office. I'm assuming that's kind of a Democratic type president. And this is going to be his candidate that's going to go against him. It's Turley is the last name. Now, if you look at it, Turley and Trump have 3 letters that are similar, and then you have Turkey. So Trump, Turkey put together, vote Turley. You know, I don't think it's a stretch to say that's what Tom King was shooting for here. You go, vote Turley right there. You can take a look, because he uses other kind of plays on words for names as well. Like the HBO series, this is taking little bits and pieces of the characters and placing them in the story. I believe that's the way it's going to play out throughout. And unfortunately, I don't think it really needs to be in here. This could be told as a different story. The mystery could be a standalone story without any kind of Rorschach in it. I think he's just kind of a gimmick to sell more comics. This is taking place in present times, 2020, not the 1985 in which Rorschach died in. So there's a lot going on that's missing, so to speak. And one of the first things we find out is the Rorschach that's been gunned down here is 80 years old, which would make him the same age, basically, if it really was Rorschach. But then we get these convoluted backstory about how he was actually a comic book writer and whatnot. And so then we flip over to Philadelphia. Gotcha again. It's just a Snickers ad. DC did this. I don't know why they're doing this. What a dumb place to put an ad. But we've got these couple of police detectives that are looking into the case. They don't tell us the names of either one of them, and I'm not even sure. I'm assuming they're just regular police. They're not FBI or CIA or anything special. And this one guy here has the ability to drink and talk at the same time. Does it in a couple panels here. But basically, they're just going how weird the thing is. They're able to trace the fingerprints on the girl that he was with that got murdered, and just some random woman from Wyoming. So, I mean, there's a little bit of mystery that's going on. It seems like maybe not a bad story, but it's just moving backwards. It just moves backwards. And honestly, I'm sure Rorschach's going to have some kind of twist to it at some point. But there's Rorschach memorabilia and Halloween costumes available now. It's 25 years later or 35 years later. Supposedly Rorschach's 80, and they're saying, well, they haven't seen him in 35 years, so they don't know what's going on with it. It's just kind of I don't know. Like I said, I'm not recommending this, or if I haven't said it already, it's a not recommend. It's a series of flashbacks moving backwards in time, and I would skip it. I mean, they do the classic Rorschach look and everything, but 12 panel page. We got to do one better than Alan Moore, but I can't recommend this. I was frustrated reading it. Oh, here we go. We go with, how many panels is this? A 15 panel? So he's outdoing them. And we got our doomsday clock reminder. Probably going to end up at Ollie's, I would guess, is the hardcover of it. It's just not that good. And that's it, basically. So anyway, I'm sorry. They just kind of ruined Rorschach character. That's all I can say. And so I cannot recommend this. So it's been a disappointing week so far. I've got another book that I did not care for either, and we're going to do that one next. But anyway, thank you for stopping by. Please like, please subscribe, please leave comments, especially if you like this, what you liked about it. I was like super disappointed. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of critics out there that'll love it. But I know Comics Matter didn't like it. I know Comics by Perch, they didn't care for it either. So I'm not going to be alone on this one like I have been with a few of the other ones. So anyway, this is Indie Comics Jones from the Temple of Tomes. Thank you very much for stopping by, and as always, I bid you adieu.